check. Hello, check 1 2. Second episode of this podcast, mental and physical health directly aligned. This conversation has potential to reach places outside of this room. What's up, guys? I'm him. This is my podcast. Pretty comfortable with it.
I'm not quite comfortable yet.
You warm up. Like you have to do something. Like a lot of voice actors will literally sing before they like even step in front of the mic.
Y'all want to sing to warm up?
Yeah.
Sing it to one.
Come and get your love.
I thought you were gonna say come and something else.
Come and get your love.
Off cam, Mason, hit us.
No.
You're actually kind of good.
Hey.
Hey.
What's the matter with you? Hey.
You went too early. You're supposed to do another round.
Okay, start. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, what? I think this might be doing the opposite of warming us up. This is making me nervous.
That's the whole song.
Welcome back to another episode of this podcast. I am here with P for Plum, also known as Hunter Ward, and David G, David with a Plan, David Atkins. You've seen him before. This is your first time seeing P for Plum in the flesh. I'll start off with my messages: mental health and physical health directly aligned. Helping yourself helps inspire others to help themselves. This is episode 15. Not sure if I said that already or not. We got some topics. We got some questions. Hope you enjoy. P for Plum, thanks for being here. David, thanks for being here. Fuck, man, I think I want to redo that.
I was gonna shout out. You covered all your topics, and then like shout out off cam Mason over there. His inputs and everything. We'll have subtitles, I'm sure.
You want to say anything, Mason?
I'm over here.
Okay, my first topic for this podcast is creation. Just creation of ideas, structures, technology, and AI. And it's interesting to me because it seems like as animals, as the human species, that's what separates us from other life forms, is that we have the ability to create. So my first question for either of y'all is, where do y'all think that creative process comes from? I can say where I think mine comes from first. Where I think it comes from. I think it comes from our Creator. I think whatever created us, the higher being, God, Heavenly Father, whatever you call him, I think that's his image, his piece that he gave us, is the ability to create new things. And that it seems like the goal of human existence is to create something that replicates us through basically AI. Do y'all believe that also?
You kind of took mine. That's what I was thinking about saying.
About AI or God?
About God.
Mhm.
That's why.
Well, I mean, it would just be evolution, wouldn't it? Our cognitive abilities developed over a period of time. We create better things every generation.
Right.
Better things.
Mm-hmm.
More advanced.
Yep.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But do you think?
Well, I mean, you build what you know at that point.
Yes.
And what do humans know better than anything? Well, I'll say humans, but like human-ish things, which is where I guess we kind of lean on AI to try and bridge that gap so that everything that's not so human, I guess, now.
Yeah, I think it seems like our goal is to create a being that can advance itself. Like how humans can advance, we can advance ourselves, and we have evolved and advanced through time because, started as cavemen, smacking rocks together and stuff, and now, we've got hammers and drills and computers and all this stuff. We advance ourselves with time. Right now, computers need humans as an outlet to advance it. I'm not sure. At this point, the way that it's progressing, I think there might be computers out there that can advance themselves
Oh, absolutely.
and update themselves on the spot. Like, you talk to the AI, you ask the AI a question, and it doesn't have all the information it needs, I don't know. It doesn't seem.
There are enough algorithms, I like to think, in a lot of, especially government and military type stuff, that it's on a good enough learning path right now that it can learn to eventually not need us. Even like it's the prerequisites already there, I think.
Right. What do you think, David G?
It's not something I actually thought about before.
Really? You
Yeah.
haven't thought about AI advancing itself?
I kind of just, I remember last time, I think we talked about it, I talked about how I thought it was going a little too fast. I guess I was thinking we were advancing it, but I can definitely see it advancing itself.
Do you think, how many years from now do you think we'll be coexisting with basically full-on robots?
I mean, we kind of have like these AI chatbots that like have their own personality, so
Yeah.
with a little more tweaking, that could probably be perfected, and they just got to get down how to
Basically like transportation, you know,
Yeah.
like are they going to be walking with legs? Are they going to have wheels? When and where are they going to be? I know I'm pretty sure in Japan there's already
yeah
AI waitresses or like
yeah
We have
waiters.
them. We have them here too.
Where?
I believe isn't there a restaurant in Gatlinburg?
I did see that on somebody's social media like that I knew that was like it came and got their plates and took them back. And I'm pretty sure you can communicate with it. Isn't that so crazy?
Yeah.
That's so crazy to me. Right chat, right YouTube, isn't that so crazy? Like I think definitely before we die, things are gonna be a lot different.
yeah.
I think people are probably gonna be humanoid, I guess is what you would call it, they're gonna have a piece of technology in their body that does something.
Well,
I'm not sure what it's gonna do.
Naturally, and I think a big point that's going to be the turning point in that is that humans are obsessed with emotions. And so I think the big thing now is trying to find a way to put emotions
Yeah.
into that. And that's going to be where everything gets real muddy. I
It's
think.
going to be weird because I think, like David said, it's going too fast because we haven't figured out the human consciousness and the human brain. We don't have a good grasp on that. Maybe somebody out there has figured it out.
Like,
but
I'm sure there's a roadmap to where we can eventually get to it, but we don't know enough to immediately start trying to, I hate to say create life,
yeah,
but essentially that's where a lot of that stuff is going.
that's what it is. Trying to replicate life. I think that this is a bit of a, I don't know if it's a weird one. I think it's pretty solid. We are that. We are, our creator made AI, us, his AI. So how it would be when we've got that maybe perfected, that our creator put his intelligence, a model of his intelligence into human life, and now we're trying to recreate it again. I don't know how far up it goes. Like,
But I think the mistake that we're making is assuming that we were created to create life instead of just creating a life.
yeah,
So, whereas he made something in the model of his brain, according to you, we're making something that could inevitably be smarter than we are.
yeah.
And that's where
That I think
Things are
will
gonna-
be smarter than us.
probably borderline already are,
Yes.
but
And honestly, probably because emotions get in our way. Like, the way we feel about things keeps us from advancing. Like, we don't feel like doing that, or, we fall in love, so we're not trying to advance ourselves anymore. We're just trying to settle
or
down.
we
and-
have like jealousy or
Yeah.
other things that like different driving factors that
Yep.
either hold us back or accelerate us.
Or we overcombust. I don't know if that's the word. We freak out. We get to doing too much, and we shut down. Like, you get anxiety, and you can't function anymore.
I think I like the rate and the direction they're saying to go. I feel like we're setting ourselves up for failure.
Oh yeah, I
So,
feel like we're doing. Oh, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, if I don't know if you guys know, but I'm Christian, so I'm thinking about this as like a biblical standpoint. So like in Genesis, when God created the earth and everything, I feel like, and a lot of scientists aren't Christian, but like I feel like we haven't learned from that, because after he created them, they rebelled from him and started doing things against him. And I feel like if we create this new thing eventually that could be like the AI warfare that everyone talks about or whatever.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I think we're doing what every movie, every piece of, not every, but most pieces of media predict. You know, like you create something amazing, it turns on you. Conflict almost immediately.
Yeah.
Similar like Adam and Eve, you know? God created Adam and Eve, and I don't know how long it was that they rebelled, but it doesn't, in the Bible, it doesn't seem like long. It's the first book, you know?
Yeah.
They first book of the Bible, they already rebelled and
Yeah.
like, did the one thing they weren't supposed to do. And
Well, I mean, the
conflict.
greatest gift can also be like the greatest weapon. Like
Right.
free will
Yeah.
inevitably is what, you know.
Yep. Right. So now we're blessed with free will. We're blessed with a sense of individuality and stuff. But at the same time, we got to figure it out for ourselves. You know. Now we have a tough journey of we have to go provide for ourselves. We have to make our own choices. We have to decipher between good and bad. Which I mean, I can't imagine it any other way.
I think like we would have like a season of like what is it, Blade Runner, where we're kind of coexisting with like all the like the replicants or whatever. But like eventually, I think it would definitely go into warfare because like if we're making AI to like fix our problems, eventually I think it'll figure it out. Well, a lot of our problems are from ourselves.
Yeah.
So then they'll be like, here's the solution. We're gonna annihilate
Right.
the humans.
I think
and all that.
those.
Like Ultron.
Yeah, like
Well,
Ultron,
you think
yeah.
about the variable for any like problem in the world. What does it come down to? Us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got another theory that
Aside
we're
from
we're
natural
basically the
disaster.
aliens. It's
Yeah.
because we're pretty much the only species that harms our home planet.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of another species that pollutes the air really, you know,
Yeah.
that has created something to destroy the ozone layer and fill the world with trash, and it doesn't seem like we're from here.
I know like a certain type of worms will like destroy the earth or whatever. Like they'll be in the, like they're an invasive species, sort of like that. But I mean, it's not like throwing trash in the ocean.
Right.
But like a thing for a lot of those, I think, is like there are those invasive species, but there's something else in nature that either like eats them or has some
Yeah.
other. Nothing's really above us on the food chain other than an extraterrestrial
Yeah.
being that come down and set us back to zero. Really.
Yeah.
Or just ourselves, you know, like a human kills a human, you know, out in nature. I don't think lions really kill lions. Maybe they do if they get territorial and stuff. But normally the lion kills the gazelle, you know, because it needs to eat.
Like in nature, you kill what you eat, or you kill to protect.
Right. And I mean,
Humans kill when they want and for fun.
yeah, humans kill when something went wrong in there.
Or you want something. Like you don't see a lion being like, I'm gonna go 20 miles that way and take
Right.
whatever the other lions
Yeah.
have.
They're like, I'm curious of what's over there. And then, oh, I found it. It's mine now.
That other lion over there is harvesting oil. I want that oil.
Or, you know, to get even darker, like, I'm stronger than this lion. You work for me now. For free.
My business now, lion, for free.
Yeah, well,
I'm paying
you can't defend yourself against these guns? Yeah, you work for me now. It's a strange humans are a weird species. Very strange.
Very strange.
It almost to me seems like,
Just look at YouTube.
oh yeah, literally look at YouTube. Like, it's crazy. It seems to me that our creator looked at everything he created and was like, okay, let's give him the body of a monkey, but my mind. And now I'm watching. Let's see what happens. You know, you've got the most kind of balanced physical form, and you've got a piece in here that allows you to create new stuff. That's the only thing that really separates us from monkeys, is that we can make tools and advance. I guess monkeys have it. Monkeys, I think they've advanced really since kind of their creation.
Well, so like the thing about that is like it's not like monkeys just changed from not being monkeys. It's like certain monkeys changed to being like what's an inner link between us and monkeys, Mason?
A bunch of other different species of monkey.
Yeah, it's like each one evolved from like a base one that doesn't exist into what they are now, into like a whole other web of different primates into us.
Yeah.
Eventually, like that's where like the whole Sasquatch Bigfoot thing comes from, because there's a link going through, and you know Bigfoot obviously walks and the way he does stuff is just a different version of the way we operate. Just his is just more of a natural.
I would want to see a monkey you see in the zoo, a chimpanzee or something, you know, one of the pretty smart ones, I would want to see like 500 years ago its base and see just how much it's developed from that one. Like if there was a caveman version of current monkey, if that makes sense, you know, like maybe this monkey now can communicate better, is just more aware, more perceptive and stuff, and the other one was kind of just wandering around bumping its head on stuff.
Well, yeah, that's always like with any evolution. Like,
Yeah.
modern monkeys aren't the monkeys that we evolved from.
Yeah.
They're just a modern version of another. I hate to say it like this, like more stupid monkey. Essentially, they've just grown smarter over time.
Yeah.
Like we have, our evolution just
Ours is
largely
fast,
adapted by
man.
tools and fire and.
Yeah, ours is fast, and they've been trying to teach other species, you know, how to use tools and stuff. This might be kind of a crazy switch up, but birds and talking, that one fucks me up. That one fucks me up bad. Is that birds can adapt different languages. It's not even just humans. Like, can't the mockingbird make a bunch of different noises of different animals and stuff?
Yep.
Well, I think
they copy.
the whole thing is like copying. It's not as much as they're like,
Learning.
oh, he's saying a structured sentence.
They're not
They're
learning.
mimicking a sound
Yeah.
that that they hear. But it is crazy that they have developed enough like vocal cords and everything like that to mimic
Yeah.
what we say.
It's weird that the birds have like, either the birds have our vocal cords or we have their vocal cords. Either the monkeys have our bodies or we have the monkeys' bodies. And then I don't know what else, what other animals we would really just heavily relate to. I think sort of like emotionally, we're very similar to dogs. You can see emotions in dogs for sure. You know, you yell at it and it'll cower down or something, or it knows when it's done wrong and it'll go run and go hide.
Or even like habitual like things with animals. It's
Yeah.
just like over a period of time you raise your hand to like strike a dog. Obviously it's gonna see a pattern every
Yep.
time you raise your hand.
It's about to get hit, and they're possessive too. Like, that's my toy,
Yeah.
you know, or that's my food. Another dog comes up to like try to get that food. It knows where its food bowl is. It knows where it's buried its bone or something. You know, it's protective. We've got that too. Like, I'm protective over my house. You know, if a random person comes up trying to take my house, like, no, I paid for this house. This is my house. You know, you don't get to do that.
The dog doesn't whip out the blicky whenever somebody.
Yeah. Do y'all have, before I go to my next topics, you got a topic you want to talk about, David?
I had one. It was more kind of for you though than rather myself. It was
Okay.
it was about obstacles and discouragements.
Okay.
Talking about your recent injury. How did that affect you? Like, what was your mindset when it happened? What was your mindset going through it? Like, what's your mindset now, I guess?
For those of y'all that don't know, I had surgery on my knee. I tore my ACL, my MCL, and my meniscus, and I've been down for about 5 weeks, but I'm just now getting better. I only cried once through the process. I didn't cry when it happened. Don't listen to Tyner. Don't listen to my girlfriend. They said that I cried. I didn't. I will cry. I have a good chance to cry if it gets hurt right now. I'm being really careful on it. My mindset before was I was very locked in. Like, nothing could really touch me. I could see the path that I was on. I could see where I was heading, and I was very excited. Played basketball one time, and all that changed. And now, I mean, I can't see really even when I'll be back recovered. So it is a little different. I haven't been locked in. I think this has been a test for me of patience and of sort of letting go a little bit. Yes, I was locked in on my health and fitness for almost probably a year and a half before this happened. I just kind of let go a little bit, you know. I can't walk. I can't really be healthy. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just not going to be healthy. I'm going to eat snacks. I'm gonna be, you know, a regular person, to say. And acceptance has gotten me through that a lot. Accepting that I can't change it. You know, there's no way that I know how to wake up tomorrow and be back fine. So I just have to accept that it's going to be a long process. I've talked to a lot of people. They've said that that's had this similar stuff happen. It's a long process. Don't try to rush anything. I've accepted a lot that there's obstacles in life. You know, nothing is really just going to go straight to plan. But really, the only time an obstacle is going to hold you back a lot is when you dwell on it and you sit there and you're like, oh, I can't believe this happened to me. This wasn't supposed to go as planned. If you accept it and you're like, oh, well, there's a setback, you know, I'll get back on track when I can. I'll figure out something else to do to pass the time. Or, you know, maybe I'll switch directions. Like, I wouldn't be doing this many podcasts if this wouldn't happen.
Right.
So, I mean, I had posted a podcast with my girlfriend, and 3 months ago, and before that was probably the David podcast, which was like 3 months before that. I was posting like maybe at best once every like couple months, and now I've made like 3 or 4. So it just deters your path. I think it's good to keep an open mind on, say you've run into an obstacle, that you can go around it. You can take a detour. You don't have to do exactly what you were planning to do. I think probably a lot of people mess up that way, is that they're so set on doing it exactly this way that when it doesn't work out for them, they just give up. They're like, well, I couldn't make it work. You know?
Well, a big thing I think is when you set out a path that you want to take, you trick yourself into thinking that's the only path you can take. When, like you said, something like, say the door doesn't work, you got to find another way to get around.
Exactly. You might not, you know, there might be a door right over there, and you don't know about it. There might be a window. You know, they say, I've heard that, it's a Tyler the Creator song, you know, sometimes you got to close the door to open up a window. And it might not be the most conventional way into where you're going, but you can go in there. You know, maybe you need a sledgehammer to break down the door. You know, there's different.
You got to steal
ways.
stuff in that house, man. You can't.
You got to get in the house. You know, you got to get into that house.
Proper wiring in that house.
Have you experienced obstacles recently in your life?
Not really.
Yes, you have. Right? Everybody has experienced obstacles.
Well, I mean,
in their life.
not really, none that really come to mind. Like, I haven't really had a bad injury. Like, I've never broken a bone. I've never been in the hospital. So, like,
this was my first surgery.
So, like, I don't really have any. Like,
there's a theory about the never broken a bone theory. You know that?
What is it?
It basically says like you were sheltered as a child.
Oh, well, yeah, that's accurate.
Have you broken a bone?
Yes.
Yeah, I've broken a few. I think I've broken my collarbone. I fractured a plate in my ankle. I broke my collarbone when I was young.
I'll say we kind of have like very similar, because I did the same. Yeah, I broke my collarbone.
Did you fall out of a tree?
No.
Okay.
I fell off of a girl.
Fell off of a girl? At what age?
Like 8. It was one of my sister's friends.
Well,
So, okay, all right, buddy.
With some like piggyback ride or something?
Sure.
What? I need to know this.
What the fuck?
Nah, I was just being too rough and rowdy as a kid, and like my sister and all her friends were hanging out, and I went to like jump to like do who knows whatever, and it just missed, and I went soaring off the edge of the bed, off like the stairs, right there.
Mine was, I was at the babysitter's house. I was probably 5 years old, and I climbed a tree, and there was some type of, I think it was a plum or a cherry, I don't know. It was some type of little hanging fruit. And I see a van pull up. My mom always drove a white van. And I was like, that's my mom. I want to grab this for my mom. I reach out to grab it. My foot slips. I fall out of the tree. I was probably I wasn't like 5 or 6 feet high. I couldn't get too high. I was a child. Fell straight on my shoulder. Started screaming and crying, ran up to the house. Wasn't my mom that pulled up, it was some other white van. So I had to sit there while the babysitter called my mom.
Some other white van, and he was like, oh, this injured kid.
And then I got in the van. He gave me some candy. Anyway, I had to sit there while the babysitter called my mom on the phone, like sitting there crying, like watching her call my mom, and then they took me to the doctor and stuff. They put me in a sling. I didn't have surgery. This was my first ever surgery.
But you want to know what though?
What?
Monkey would not have fallen out of the tree.
Monkeys do fall out of trees. Baby monkeys. I went to the zoo.
Were you a baby monkey though?
Yes, I was 5 years old.
It's not baby. 5-year-old
Toddler monkey.
A 5-year-old monkey ain't falling out of that tree.
No, animals fall often. You could look up on YouTube.
animals
Mason,
fall
pull it
often.
up. Pull up monkeys falling out of trees. Pull it up, Mason. Pull it up. But I went to the zoo when I was a kid. Well, I was probably like 10. And my cousin Tyler, he was always kind of a wild one. There were monkeys playing on the ropes.
Oh, no.
He's probably like 18. And he did this loud ass screech while this monkey was on like a single rope. It was a baby monkey, and the monkey freaked out and almost fell and like slid like 15 feet down the rope and then ran to its mom and like cowered down. And that just made me think, monkey, he almost fell. Like monkeys will fall out of trees.
My cousin liked to bully animals.
Yeah, he was kind of a crazy one. He's always been the one like that the whole family's worried about, you know, that he's like gonna get in trouble or do something. But we were talking about obstacles and what'd you say else? Obstacles and
Discouragement.
Discouragement. Discouragement for me doesn't last that long, but I do experience it. You experience discouragement?
Yeah, a good amount actually. It's just it'll be random stuff, but it can be on different like spectrums. It'll be, you know, like I didn't get this certain job or like upper position, or like this song or like chord progression I made doesn't sound good than I thought it would, or like this girl I was talking to, it didn't work out or whatever, like, you know, stuff like that. But I mean, it's but when it's in my control, I get a lot more discouraged than when it's out of my control. And sometimes I don't know it's not in my control, so I just get even more sad about it. But
you're pretty aware of kind of like your triggers of like what causes the discouragement.
Yeah,
I think that's the first step, is being aware of like that discourages me. So you either figure out a way to cope with it or you avoid it. You know, like if you learn that this type of girl and says these things always discourages you and fucks you up, you know, you just avoid those type of girls. Like, don't come around. I've experienced this before. It's done. You know, we're not doing this anymore.
It's gonna be different this time.
It's gonna be different this time. It's like, oh, it's all the same signs that I've seen always, but this one's different. Like, chances are, no, it's not different. They're very. I think there's lots of similar styles of people out there, and you can learn from your previous experiences.
It's almost like there's templates of people that everybody's made from.
For sure, and you meet somebody that's very similar to you, you know, and I think it goes back to how you were raised. This was one of my topics too, of how much your childhood plays in just your overall character development. Of, you know, if you loved watching cartoons as a kid, unless you make a conscious decision to not watch that anymore as an adult, you'll probably still enjoy them as an adult. I think. I loved Pokemon growing up. I would still play a Pokemon game right now. I haven't in a while, but I went back to my old Pokemon games when I was like, I went back when I was like 13 and played them on Game Boy, and I went back when I was like 16, 17 and played them on Game Boy, and I loved them each time, and I felt like I understood them better each time and like took different routes. It doesn't really, superheroes, still love superhero movies.
I think that's why now, like with our generation, I think that's why anime is so big, is because a lot of us have like grown up, we've realized like cartoons never had to be for kids.
Yeah.
Like animation and everything could be for anybody. Like, we enjoyed it so much as kids. It's one of those things like, why can't I enjoy it as an adult? You can't.
Why do you think that it was so marketed towards kids, or like the older generations were like, it's a cartoon, you know, it's animated, so it's not for me. It's not for an adult.
It's because a lot of people, even like people like, you know, our age, whatever, they just see it as it's animated, it's not real, it can't happen.
Right.
So it's an imaginary playground, like kids, like, oh, kid, you know, it's an imaginary thing, it's a cartoon, so they'll have fun with it. But then, like, you try to condition them to be like, cartoons aren't real, whatever. It's just as real as a, you know,
which is kind of
TV shows and.
I think it relates better. I think since it's over exaggerated, it's easier to like resonate with it. You know, like you can see the emotions on their faces better because their eyes get huge. Or, you know, like color, like their head gets blue and, you know, or like a black aura goes around them when they're depressed. You're like, oh.
Not to bash actors or whatever, but dramatization is a big, like, thing in movies. Like, an actor wants to try really hard to look like they're crying, but they can't capture the emotion right. An artist that's going in and is drawing the thing can focus on each detail of how somebody who's sad will look. So it's easier to like resonate with more people because you can actually draw those emotions rather than.
And you can see what you're creating. You know, if I'm trying to sit here and fake cry, or I'm trying to sit here and cry, I can't see my face. I can't see what's going on unless I keep my eyes open and I'm like looking into a mirror. But then I can't if I'm drawing something, I can see what's going on. I think it's cool. Also, what I was going to say is I think it's bonkers to look at it as you're a grown-up, you don't get to use your imagination anymore. That's not cool anymore, you know, or like you don't have time to imagine things. That's like one of the biggest blessings is being able to imagine cool things.
I think that's
be-
why so many people are probably unhappy.
Yes.
It's because they blocked off so much of what makes us us. Yeah,
It
exactly.
makes us like individuals and like creative and funny and just overall just satisfies that itch as the part of your brain. I think every single person has a creative part of their brain, an imaginative part of their brain, but you can suppress it. And now you're not getting stimulation to that part of your head, so your brain's not even operating
Exactly.
well.
If you're not feeding that part of yourself, then it's not going to grow and nourish
Yep, and then
anything like that.
it's going to be kind of forgotten about, and then when you try to use it, it's going to be weak, and you're probably going to be upset that you know.
And then it goes back to that discouraging thing. It's like, oh, why did I even try?
Yeah, why'd I even try? Like, I'm just not even going to try to grow that part. Like me, I feel like I got into fitness late, and the people around me working out and stuff were far ahead of me. And at first, for a little while when I was first doing it, I was discouraged. I'm like, bro, I can't put on weight. I can't get stronger. I can't do this. And then I decided, like, fuck this. I'm going to do it no matter what. And I was like, I'm not any different than these people. This is just what they did. They just ate a bunch of food and they worked out hard and they got strong. I'm like, damn, that's not that hard. I'm just like everybody else. I'm just a little behind those people. And then you get to where you don't even compare yourself with people anymore.
It's not like I'm behind. It's just like I'm on my own different track. He's doing good on his track. Like he's like advancing and all this stuff. Whenever I get there, I will be.
One of my affirmations I say every morning is, this is my individual journey. I'm on a path led by God, or I say I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. That I can't go back and change. That's another part of obstacles and acceptance. You can't go back and change the decisions you made. You can only make new decisions, and you're going to be behind some people. You're going to be ahead of some other people, but you're going to be on your own individual path. You're going to be where you're supposed to end up. Also, with obstacles, I like to say that I'm on a path led by God. So, I'm hitting obstacles, but they're meant to be there for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And you keep going, and I found my purpose. Y'all think y'all found kind of y'all's purpose in life? They're not always forever.
I think I'm starting to kind of fine tune my. I think I'm starting to catch on to like what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I don't know if this will be my forever purpose or what, but I consider myself a messenger. Especially since I've built a platform on YouTube, whether it's big or small, my reach, I have a couple messages, which y'all heard in the beginning of the podcast. My purpose is to spread them. They basically defined my new style of life from the age 24 to I'm almost 26 now. They've redefined my life, and if they can redefine one other person's life, I'm satisfied. I'm lying about that. I'm not always satisfied with that, but it does it feels good to know that maybe there's one person out there that I've changed a little bit through my messages, that I've helped a little bit through my messages. I want it to be as widespread as I can because I truly believe in those messages. But if it's a small amount, it's a small amount. That's cool.
And another thing is, I don't think we're always aware of the positive impact that we have on other people. Not many people like will sit there and think like, I think I helped that person for the better because you get focused doing your own thing, whatever. But everybody has positive and negative impacts on other people. But like, obviously, sucking that water down.
It's like that movie, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yep.
Christmas
Yeah.
movie.
He had no idea
Yeah, exactly. You just
how important his existence was.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a very good example.
it's never too late.
It's never too late. I've always thought that. I mean, if you're 30 and you decide.
Never too late, Mason.
It's never too late, Mason. Mason, bro, it's never too late.
It's our captive audience.
What do you Mason has the laugh track?
I was going to say, this episode was filmed from a live studio, Mason.
Do you feel like you found your purpose, David?
I don't know if I would say that. I think I found something that could possibly be it because I discovered how much I loved music when I was 14. Like, I always liked it, but then when I finally picked up an instrument, I realized like how much I actually appreciate it, and I want to make it, and I want other people to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, like, it's not a purpose right now because I don't have like other bandmates and stuff. I don't want to be a solo act. I'm uncomfortable with that idea. I don't want to do that. But it's like, if I had like more guys to play with, I feel like if we like at least had some people listen, that would feel like
They should pull an old head thing out for that. Yeah, plenty of time.
Yeah.
You have like
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have plenty of time, but also what I was thinking is that could be one of those obstacles you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to go through it alone, but
Yeah.
most of the time I would say you kind of have to start alone.
Yeah.
Like with my content creation and stuff, especially around here, bro, there's not really that many other people that are just like down to, like, I tried to get Connor on a podcast multiple times
Yeah.
and it just didn't work. I tried to, we were going to do the flop shotters and stuff, and it just didn't really, it never really just hit or anything. And it's tough to find people that are really just down to do things in small town USA, you know, and BFE, I say bumfuck Egypt.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to find people to do things, but when you do start doing stuff on your own, it might inspire somebody else to kind of follow you and want to do it, or, maybe you are a solo act.
Maybe.
Maybe you are.
I think it's because I see bands that I like, and they have like you can hire people to do like your background stuff, but like you're hiring them as like workers. Like, I want to make a band with like friends because I see how these bands interact with each other, and like it's like a special bond. And that's kind of what I want for like the band. I mean, I could hire
Right.
people, but I feel like it's like
Yeah, it's not the
they're
same.
my employees. They're not my friends.
Yeah, it's not the same. You
Yeah.
want it to, do you have any candidates?
Yeah, if they live far away, like
right.
Florida.
Yeah, right. It's tough. So either you all have to move in together and decide, we're chasing this, or I don't know how you do it. I mean, technology's crazy today.
You can
Y'all
do it
could
online.
send in. You could do it online.
Yeah.
Like send where you record a piece and then they
Yeah.
record a piece and have an engineer put it all together, and you could probably make that happen. But still, then it's not. It doesn't seem like it's like the bond you want.
Yeah.
you want the connection of everybody's in the studio. We're all
Yep.
bouncing stuff off of
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, I would love. I'm just not very musically talented. I mean, I could probably play some type of role, but I mean, y'all heard my music. It's
Oh yeah, fire.
Or Stephen Hawking.
in the beginning of the Tyner podcast, I was playing one of my songs. That's when he said we're making out single wide with this.
Where we're at double wide, baby.
My music is basically just being goofy most of the time. I've made a couple like.
I think I've heard your stuff.
You haven't heard my music? I'm not gonna poison the podcast viewers with it, but
You mean bless?
I mean blessed. I've had some people say, "Oh yeah, like I really like it." Like
Yeah.
pretty sure Mason's lying.
No.
Well, it's because y'all know me personally. Y'all are y'all can see me being goofy behind the mic and
Yeah.
shit.
Stephen Hawking.
I've got that. I've got a couple lines that stuck, and that makes me.
No, that line right there. They'll be like burying me, like whenever I'm like 8 years old. That's all that's gonna be playing overhead.
I've got some line. Tyner is convinced that it's all parody music, that I'm not trying at all. There's no way I could be trying because it's that bad. And I'm like, bro, you don't understand art. You don't understand the creative process, man. I put my all into this.
I mean, it could be. Weird Al Yankovic has like a whole career off of it.
I mean, bro, so who's your favorite band ever?
I go in and out of bands, but one that I always respect is Radiohead, just because of how different their stuff is. Like, when people hear Radiohead, they think of Creep, but like I guess like the surface level audience hasn't really like looked at their other stuff.
So
Their other stuff is way different.
You would consider that like top tier art, wouldn't you? They're
Yes.
but there's people out there that would be like, bro, this is awful.
Yeah.
This is hurting me. I don't like this. They should not even have a platform. So.
Yeah.
Bro, art is not something that everybody likes.
Yeah.
I've heard that
It's very subjective.
very subjective. So yeah, like Tyner could not like my music, but other people are like, bro, this is art. Like I feel that, I feel the emotion. I
It
understand
comes down to
it.
that thing, like even the sandwiches at Subway are art. You're not gonna like my sandwich,
Yeah.
but
Right.
man,
Right.
is it perfect?
It's still a sandwich, And
Exactly.
if you ate it, it would still satiate.
Exactly.
What do you guys think about like the art at museums that it's like way different from like art we described, like we would say back then, like art was like a painting, now it's just
Mhm.
like a weird Like even a sculpture used to be like kind of cool looking. Now it's just very like weird and simplistic.
As
like,
weird as a shape as they could possibly get,
Yeah.
while like also balancing like a
Yeah.
freaking
Also-
round
Modern art, it's
Yeah.
like you really don't know what you're
Yeah.
looking at. Back in the day, it seemed like
Yeah.
it was a person. It was
But
a,
also like
a
when they're
replica.
throwing
Of,
paint at a canvas and they're saying that's like a cool piece. I'm like,
also,
I don't
because
know.
today I think it's a lot with like, I think it's a lot with.
Would you call that art? Probably.
I would call that art.
I mean, 100% it's art. Would you say it's good art?
It's classical.
Yeah.
It's like art
Yeah.
has different genres too. Like
Yeah.
the modern, like
If it wasn't art, would you have it hanging in your
Right.
house?
Yeah.
What we're looking at right now is Fonda. If you don't know who Fonda is, I got a video tour of my single wide trailer, and
He'll drop a link in the description.
yeah, I can put a link in the description, and you can see I had to blur some stuff out, but it's basically it's a woman with a little bit of exposure going on.
Hey, while you're down there, you should subscribe.
And while you're down there, you should subscribe. Look at that, man! Look at
little
that.
bell notification. For
Thumbs up always helps.
Oh yeah,
I've got time and multiverse on here.
time in multiverse.
Do you believe that each decision we make branches off into a new vast existence of anything and everything exists all at the same time?
Like, I can see like the butterfly effect tie into that. Like,
What is the butterfly
the
effect?
butterfly effect is like, it's basically it's like an example. Like a butterfly's wing flaps are like very small and delicate, but like on the other side of the world, it could like be causing like a tornado, like a natural disaster. So it's like any kind of like small, like even like a small decision you make can like change
Yeah.
your path
Mhm.
along in life or whatever. So like with different decisions, I guess, you know, if you pick this other, like even just this really small decision, you could be somewhere completely different.
Yeah, me and Tyler talked about that last night because he's been practicing backflips because I'm not really supposed to talk too much about what he's doing, but he's going to play entertainment baseball for a specific franchise that's named after a fruit. And he was doing backflips and stuff, and I almost didn't go with him, but because I got kind of tired after we like lifted, and then I watched him play golf, and I was like, you know, I don't know if I really want to go. And I was like, unless you like really want a cameraman, he'd be like, it'd be good to have one. I was like, okay, I'll go. And then I got there, and he said he did like 10 times better in this session of practicing flips and doing stuff than he did last week. And he got a bunch of good footage from it too. And he said that he thinks it's because like his friend was there and he really didn't want to do bad in front of his friend, and like be on camera too. Like that he was like not gonna let him have a mental block. He was gonna do it. He did some crazy stuff, and it was amazing. He got some good content, and it really like just the energy. I really enjoyed it too. It got me hyped. Like I was on the camera, like, oh my god! And he was like, it's so crazy how like a little decision like that, you know, just me bringing you with me. And he's like, I don't think that would have happened, you know, if you wouldn't have been there holding the camera. He's like, I think it would have been, you know, I might have gotten one video at the end of the thing, and I don't think I would have been as motivated. And just a little decision like that, like deciding to go with or to come home, could have changed a lot.
Yeah.
But do you think that existence of me, I came home last night, I didn't go with Tyler, you think that reality exists out there somewhere? Or do you think we're on a single fixed path?
I mean, the fact that we're able to think about if it exists, I think makes it, at least it's somewhat real.
Right, I believe that too. Why would I be able to imagine and think that if there's no possibility of it existing? I definitely think that too. Because
Yeah.
why would I be able to think of that if there's no possibility of it existing?
Yeah,
Why would, however we got here, why would that be a thing?
yeah.
What's the alternate timeline where Josh doesn't get into fitness? What does he look like?
I think there is a version of me out there that exists that is very unhealtky.
There's a lot of dead versions of me out there.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
the amount of dead versions of me that
I didn't want to say that. I was going to say there's a version out there of me that either overdosed on drugs or one of his friends did, very close in proximity to him, and that changed everything. But I'm happy that I'm not that one. I'm happy that I'm not that Josh. I enjoy the course. I enjoy that I looked up at a point and was like, you know what? No more, you know? Like, you're obviously not responsible enough to do this shit. You know, I think drugs aren't that bad if you're a very level-headed person and can control it and know when to say enough's enough. I was never that. I was always, once I started doing a little bit, let's just do it till the wheels fall off, let's just go as far, give it to as many people around you, everybody have fun. And, like we talked about impact and influence, I had no idea what I was really doing to the people around me. And I still see it a little bit in today's world, like 3-4 years later. And I'm just kind of like, damn, like I was probably a big role in that person's but, I had to look up at a point and I made the decision to do it. I wasn't forcing it on anybody, but I was the outlet. And I had to look up and say enough's enough and quit. And, those people got to do it too. That's why, I don't want to share any type of substance with anybody anymore, really. Especially anybody younger than me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, people were going to talk about my vaping. Yeah. I think the last David podcast we did, I said that hopefully I'd stop vaping. Still haven't. I made an effort to, and I failed. But now I don't really let people, unless I know that you're already addicted to vaping and you're going to tweak out on me if I don't give it to you. I'm not going to give it to you. If you're just curious and you don't know, I'm like, bro, go buy your own. If you old enough, go buy your own. Go find somebody to buy your own. I'm not going to give it to you. Because that's how it started with me, people just giving it to me, and next thing you know, I'm like, damn, I want to stop, but for some reason I keep failing to stop. But
are we launching into the addiction section?
We can launch into the addiction section.
So, I guess Mom will be happy to hear me discuss this.
Oh no, Mom, no!
Yeah, Mom found out about
Sorry, Mom. She found out about the podcast, or she found out about?
Both. So, there's a difference between me now and me when I first started, is that I didn't have an addiction, and my addiction is a brand called Zins. I'm sure everyone knows what that is. They're these little bundles of joy and happiness.
Look, there's Velos. Not sponsored, by the way.
Not sponsored.
See, those don't really do anything for me. Only Zins give me the good hit.
What's the count on that?
9.
I've had 7. It didn't really do anything.
He had 14s the other day.
What? They go up that high?
Yeah,
They go up
not
high.
doing those again. That made me sick.
Bro, I did a 6 one time, and I inhaled nicotine all day, every day. I did a 6 one time, and it fucked me up. I didn't like it. I don't like the consistent buzz. You're just buzzing.
No, yours
for a
buzz.
long
That's
time.
I had a 9 once, and I just felt like I was vibrating walking
Yeah,
around.
you're just and then you try to do things, and you're like, oh, that's so tough.
It's
and,
so
It made
good.
work awesome.
It's great.
I was like, they're going to drug test me. I want to high five everybody here.
yeah, it is. And then it gets to a point. So, what point are you in it? Does it still give you that bundle of joy and happiness, or are you like, damn, bro, I need one?
Oh yeah, it still definitely has its hit. It's nowhere near the amount when I first had one.
Yeah.
Which I started on the 3s. I didn't start with the 6, and
But the 3s are smacking you, aren't they?
Yeah, and then I worked up to 6, and now 3s don't do anything.
This might not.
I can't go back.
Nicotine is not awful. I think that's the best form if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
As long as you don't let it ruin your life or ruin your bank account or anything. I don't think it's really. You don't think it's harming you, being in your lip, just putting nicotine
it could,
into your
have
system?
oral health issues.
It is.
but-
I will say it's not smoking.
It's not
Yeah.
smoking.
If you're gonna get nicotine some kind of way, rather it be that than
Than vape or cigarettes and then inhaling things.
Yeah.
even dip. I'd
It is,
say.
yeah,
Yeah.
even dip, because the dip is tobacco and
It's just that
it's a
shit
bunch
is
of-
really just
Yeah,
It's a bunch of chemicals in there. The Zins are,
they don't have
What-
as many additives. as
yeah.
other stuff.
What all additives do they have? Is it just? It's not pure nicotine
It
powder,
has,
is it?
like-
It's salt and
Salt nic, and that's about it.
Pretty much. The ingredients list is super
I mean,
short.
they haven't existed long term enough for us to get
Yeah.
a good study.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we might be the test subjects.
but I mean, no, nicotine's been around for a long time,
yeah.
and it's proven to do a lot of basically good things for your brain. It's just how you do it. There's snortable nicotine and
Really?
snortable. It's called Cowboy something. They have it in Montana. My girlfriend's from Montana, and she talks about how they sell it up there.
Interesting.
Cowboy, what do they call it? I think maybe Cowboy Coke. I can't remember. I
Cowboy
don't know.
Coke.
But it's like tobacco, and it gives you a buzz. You either just huff it, or maybe you even get it up in your nose, but it gives you a quick like a little buzz.
So what were you? You said something about vaping that got me interested. So you said you don't like the constant buzz of a Zen. Does that not? That's not the same thing with.
It goes away quick.
Okay, so it's like one.
Yeah, I think it
puff is
hits.
Like, okay.
It's like the peak of a Zen. You know,
Yeah.
like the peak of a Zen where you're like, oh.
Yeah.
It's like that for about your first hit the other day, or your first hit in a while, maybe 10 seconds. Then you kind of come down. And you're like, oh, okay. But then you're about ready for another one. About ready to hit it again. Then you're kind of chasing that
Yeah.
first hit of the day, or that
Yeah.
first like.
It's like a portable roller coaster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
But
because
it's the portal roller coaster, but after that first hill,
Yeah.
they're all kind of little.
See, that doesn't like make me want
No.
to vape. It doesn't sound.
No, okay, good.
It doesn't
Bro,
sound
like,
fun as like Zens or whatever.
I tried it before I tried any other type of nicotine, and at the same time I had started smoking marijuana too, so I just enjoyed the act of smoking. I think I'm very addicted to the just
Yeah.
having something to hit and blow the smoke out, and
Yeah.
that's part of it. I don't really like the feeling of it. I think I'm physically attached to the feeling of it because it's an addictive substance, but I think what it is there's still a hole in my brain of I need to feel this moment with something. I need to feel this little break with something. And I've probably thought about hitting my vape 50 times since we started this podcast. It's bad. That's what is so tough to quit for me, is that those days that I did go without it when I was quitting, over 1,000 times did I think about it. And I had to tell myself no 1,000 times. Man, and I described it as I felt like a toddler. I had a piece of candy. There's a toddler standing in front of me.
Yeah.
He said, give me that piece of candy. I said, no. He said, yes. And I said, no. He said, yes. And he was just boiling up,
Yeah.
like, I want that, and he won't give it to me. But I'm the toddler, but I'm also the adult saying no.
Yeah.
I'm both characters. And just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I still need to. I mean, bro, I'm strong enough to do it. I mean, I've overcome a bunch of things. Bro, I'm strong enough to do it. For some reason, I don't want to. It's like I want to have. It's like I want to have that vice.
Yeah.
I mean, having a vice isn't necessarily
Right.
a bad thing. Everybody's got a vice
I know.
in some form or another.
Yeah, and I wish I could switch to that to Zens. I tried. I maybe try again, but it fucks me up, man. I couldn't operate off of it. I couldn't operate off
I
of
know
it.
someone who threw up after they tried their first Zen.
Yeah, that's very common.
Yeah, and I didn't know that when I first tried it. I didn't know that. If I had known that, I would have never tried it.
It hits you like you liked it for the.
Yeah, if I had known people throw up from it, I probably wouldn't have ever tried it because
Yeah.
I hate throwing up. But I didn't know that, so I tried it.
Was it your own curiosity that was like?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, it was right there, and I was just wondering about it. So I just figured, oh, what's wrong with trying it one time, and now it's like I'm
Like,
getting
oh,
it
yeah.
every week.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, I'm getting low.
It's like
You're at a
draining-
gas station.
I mean, it's not draining the bank account, but it definitely makes a difference. I would definitely have a few more bucks in my system if I didn't do them.
Yeah, yep. That was a big. That was a big realization to me when I stopped smoking weed. Was, bro, I'm just spending so much money on this shit, and it's holding me back. That's what. The vapes probably hold me back some, but the weed really started holding me back. It really started messing with my workouts and just my overall health and just my energy.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm about to stop that.
Yeah. The what it is like the science behind the addiction is your brain releases that insane amount of dopamine because you've never experienced that before with that substance, and so when you try it, your brain takes a note of it for you to do that again, and then once you do it again and again,
Yeah.
it starts becoming a habit, and that's like a set way in your brain. So that's
Yep.
like how the addiction starts. And it's like when like you're trying to break a habit of like lisping, like it's extremely hard to break that.
Mhm.
It's like the same thing with like trying to stop your addiction or whatever.
Yeah, you get into a groove of this is
Yeah.
what I do, this is how I do it, and then it's hard to back yourself out of those grooves, those mental grooves and the routines. And my brain relies on nicotine vape to release those endorphins.
Yeah.
So now it probably doesn't make its own because it's like, oh, like
Yeah.
I don't have to, bro. I'm about to get it in my lungs in a minute. It's the same way with steroids. Steroids is a lot stronger of a drug, but you need to take testosterone while you're on steroids because your body won't be creating it
Yeah.
because the steroids are doing it for you.
Yeah.
So now, steroids are doing it for you, and if you don't or I don't know, I can't remember. I've never done steroids. It's something like that. It's something about your natural hormones will completely deplete because it's getting it from a needle every week.
Yeah.
So then when you get off of it, your body doesn't know how to create that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I've been getting it off needles for this amount of time. I don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
What other topics did you bring?
Let me check. What else did I bring?
Well, I'm interested in yours.
Well, like I said,
Say it.
all my topics were just part of like if we could get there, I was going to try and make them purely olive branch. Mine are pretty forced.
Okay.
Oh, I want to clarify something.
Okay.
So we got comments on like the first few episodes.
Uh-huh.
Me and Josh are not gay, okay? We're not.
Who said that? I did not read any of those
There was
comments.
It was like, so are you guys like bi? Whatever. That was you.
What? I'm at the fact check
You don't even
that. On
check
the
your own- you don't even
podcast?
check your own comments?
It was like on the
I know that. I did
like-
not see any of those.
It was like on
bro.
the first one and like some on the second one.
No.
The second one, it was like, so is
of
he-
of us two.
Yeah. It was on the second one, I think it said, so
You guys,
is
just
he-
got
Okay,
that,
so-
you guys just got that energy, man.
No. Okay. So podcast episode 6, talking with David, part 1, 8
Yeah.
months ago.
check that one.
Bro, you do look so different.
I know.
Me and him both.
Yeah,
Have longer
that doesn't look like the same person at all.
But what else is
Bro.
different?
Yeah, when I saw you pull out, I guess I hadn't seen you in person in a
Yeah.
while. I was like, damn, bro, that does not
Yeah.
look like David.
Yeah.
And Zen smacking your ass.
They could be aging.
Accelerated growth.
Okay.
Do you see it in the comment? Is it
Are you guys straight or gay or bi
Yeah,
or anything?
yeah.
I didn't understand. Like, how was that even part of? Did you even listen to the podcast, bro? David El Dorito, is that you?
Yeah, that's
He
me.
said no.
I said no.
It said all my comments. I normally just put the red heart on there because it gets it off my mentions.
And then on the second one, it
He said,
says,
"Josh,
"Is
that
he-
was a
is
question."
he your BF?" We're
Yes,
not. We're not gay, okay? We're both straight, except he has a little more credibility because he has a girlfriend.
I have a girlfriend.
So-
Y'all know now. Like they used to think that the off-camera girlfriend was a fluke. It's whatever. I had an off-camera girlfriend. Now she's an on-camera girlfriend.
Lavender girlfriend.
Lavender. What does that mean? Like a cover up?
Yeah.
Means what?
No.
Yeah, like
He
notice
has-
how he said, "What does that mean?"
He has
What
a
is-
girlfriend specifically just to get the allegations on.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
that's
still
like-
trying to figure out how to
You
get
have a lot of himbos on your channel.
I-
I'm
She's
still
gonna
trying
come
to.
kick all our asses for that.
I'm still trying to figure out how to get the autism allegations out of there. But
Oh no, that's that's permanent.
I asked my chat this morning, like, if y'all had to label me with a mental disability or something, what would it be? And they were saying autism, schizophrenia, ADHD,
Schizophrenia is crazy.
the inability to play basketball without being hurt. It was just so
Hey, you
much
ain't ever
fun.
getting the hooping allegations out of the way.
Yeah, the what allegations?
Hooping.
Oh yeah, the hooping
I
allegations.
think-
Hooping allegations.
I think the reason they probably thought of it is because I was very camera shy. Because like I've never done something like that. So
Yeah.
like the unnatural amount of time I was staring at you because you were talking. So I was looking at the person who was talking, but
Yeah.
I look back at it now and
I look at
it's
the
like,
camera a lot.
It's like, oh, it looks like I'm like
Gazing at
yeah,
my
looking at
it looks
amazing.
like that.
Over Josh.
So it's just like the unnatural amount of time I was looking at you. I think that's what probably. Yeah. But like I was looking at the person who was talking, and I was camera shy, so you know.
It's like, oh, look at this ham sandwich over here.
Bro's been deciphering this shit.
That's
It's like,
what we-
why did they ask that?
Yeah.
See, I guess it's a little different for me because I've been posting on social media for a while.
Yeah.
Bro, they say everything in the
Yeah.
books. Like, the amount of times people have said, like, bro, you're gay, this is gay. Like, is this guy gay? Like,
Yeah.
seriously, not trying to mess around. Is this guy actually gay? I'm like, you just accept, people are going to say, people are going to do all this stuff. Most of them are trolls. Some people are genuinely curious, though.
A lot of people also project.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was just about to get to that. Or they're interested in this person. It's a gay person on the other side of the camera, and they're like, I hope this guy's gay, so,
I've always liked Jim Carrey.
Right. They definitely project, and a lot of times it's unaware. It's unaware projecting. You
Yeah.
can catch people doing it. Like they will say, I'm calling Tyner out on this. The other day, me and Tyner were just sitting over here, like in the middle of the day. He wasn't working, and obviously I wasn't working. And somebody drove down the road, and he said, "That person needs a job." And I said, "As we're sitting here at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday in the sun, doing nothing to make money or anything," and he was like, "Yeah, bro, I probably shouldn't have been judging them." But just unaware, like just kind of. Most of the time, it's out of internal insecurity. Like I'm insecure of those actions, so I judge that person for doing them.
Yeah.
But you make the same decisions.
I mean, it's like me and Mason were at Walmart earlier waiting for Pokemon cards. I was like, what the fuck are all these people doing here Thursday, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon? Both of us just bumming it out.
Right, but I don't put a whole bunch of, bro, as long as you work enough to provide for yourself, I'm not the type of person that's like, you should be getting 40 hours a week because that's what the world says, or, you know, or like, you shouldn't have
You don't
a
want
day
50
off.
hours a week, you're a pussy.
Yeah, it's, you know why people would probably say that? It's
Because they hate working 50 hours a week and they want some kind of badge to wear.
Yeah, and they had to do it, you know, and they're insecure about basically how much they have to work that they judge other people for, you know, not doing that, you know. I think it's definitely part of being a free person is your choice to work that much or not work that much. If you want a whole bunch of money and not as much free time, yeah, you know, kudos to you, go work your ass off. But if you would
Chase
rather
the
have,
bag.
right, if you would rather have more free time and less money, which a little bit more of the scale I'm on, you know. I'm okay with being a little bit more broke and having more free time because I can create content, something I love. And yes, I do make money off of it, and hopefully I end up making more money off of it, but I enjoy doing it at the end of the day. Like, I enjoy doing these podcasts, you know. Subscribe. So
Yeah, that's the key to.
that's the key to
Right, yeah.
subscribe.
You just talked about you're getting paid for this. You should clickbait everyone and say salary reveal.
I've already had that, but it's not gonna be clickbait. I'm actually gonna show
Oh, really?
them. Mhm.
Okay.
I'm gonna give them an accurate amount of a content creator who streams daily, posts daily, and gets some hit videos. Some are just most videos are just very regular, normal amount of views.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna show them in donations and subs, memberships. What I get paid for memberships and donos and stuff. I'll show them how much I make.
Yeah.
Yeah, are y'all curious right now? I might do a whole nother new video, but I can go to my thing and let you know what I've made each month since I've been monetized.
Well, this could be a little sneak peek.
Yeah, it's a little sneak peek.
So you drop the actual video.
I was monetized last year. August 29th was my first payment, so that means July was the first month I was monetized. I really got monetized a little bit before that, but whatever. I messed my account up and stuff.
We won't talk about the Twitch days either.
Oh man, Twitch days. I've talked about it a few times. Yeah, that can be a whole new thing. That can be when somebody an update when somebody comes on to interview me.
Yeah.
August $204, September $201, October $310, November $217, December $125, January $240, February $185, March $16,580. I'm just kidding.
No.
On March $157, April $160, and right now through it. Oh wait, okay. So then April, May. For May, I've made 157. So I'm averaging probably right around 200 a month.
Hold on, May hasn't happened yet.
I get paid a month behind.
Oh. Okay.
So my April earnings, I'll get the payout in May.
Okay.
I've made $157 through April right now.
Okay.
October though, all that.
October, I
Would you do
hit.
that $300 a month?
It was the Spider-Man month, man.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. That's
No, it would have been the month before that.
Oh,
So it would have been.
September. 9/11 cosplay.
I did not do that, by the way.
Yeah, I was the other tower. He was the plane.
It was the plane. Mason was Osama.
I was George Bush.
Mason was
Mason was George Bush, and I watched his
He was
drive.
in a school full of kids. He was golfing. I thought he was at the school.
No, he was at the school. I just like that
Oh.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, what was September was probably. I don't know why I made so much. I guess I was just hitting hard during then. January, I got a $100 donation. Oh, I know what it was. It was a dude named Fanta. There was this dude named Fanta in my chat. I was almost crying in the gym one day when I used to do a bunch of gym streams. I was almost crying in the gym one day because I was just fucked up for some reason. And he sent me like $30 and said, you inspired my brother to start working out. He's lost so much weight. We thought we thought he'd never do it, but you're one of the main reasons. I just want to show my appreciation. I almost cried. I think I did cry. Then, bro, it wasn't long after that, bro. He dropped like $70. Right after that, another 70. Right after that, another 70, just saying, how much he appreciates. And he works in Australia doing something, and he never told me who his brother was, but and he just dropped a bunch of money. And then, bro, I've heard from him like maybe 2 times since then. And he's also, I've got levels for membership. Shout out Fanta, by the way. I've got levels to my membership subscriptions, and he's Hundo Gang level 3, which is $25 a month.
Wow.
I put that on there as like, you know, like, I doubt anybody will do this, but maybe, you know?
Yeah.
And he did it, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy that somebody's paying $25
So-
a month to support me.
What you're saying is your salary is inflated
Yes.
by one person.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Like, that's how most, I would say, streamers and content creators are. It's like, it's definitely not an equal distribution. Like,
Oh,
you watch
no.
Twitch streamers, like, shout out Gut Knot, you know, like, I'm sure she's got probably, I don't know how many, but a handful of people who are top donuts.
Well, any like, especially Twitch, like you always got those heavy hitters. That
Oh,
come in.
yeah.
And it's like, thanks for the 10K. You know, he's really going after the high score this month.
Right, you know, appreciate the 10K, man. I actually shout out him. He's been giving me 10K a month for a year now.
Like, dude, just
Bro, and I mean, but also it's because money is subjective. Some people view money as a lot less, and they have a lot more. You know, 10K to me is life changing. Some people, 10K to them is, you know, they pay that for their rent a month. So, you know, they definitely gonna be making 100K that month for some reason. Somehow they do it. Some people make that happen. Everybody watches content. Everybody has their favorite content creator pretty much. So somebody who's making hundreds and hundreds of thousands or even a million, yeah, they can afford to do that. And they're spreading the wealth. I think it's awesome. Like, I could never imagine dropping hundreds of dollars.
a lot of
straight.
thing is a lot of people like that feeling of, oh, they're gonna hype me for all this money I'm giving them. So
And I mean, it is a good feeling. It's I try to set it up as like, it feels like a community. A lot of people don't have IRL companionship and groups and stuff, so they get it online, and so they feel like they're at home, and it's like they're giving their friend money and they're supporting. And I like it like that. I like having a personal connection. That's something that I think fades as you grow. You know, when you grow from having 10 to 20, 30 viewers in your chat to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, chat moves so fast, it's hard to keep a personal connection. But at that point, they're watching you and they're like, I'm an OG. I watched the glow up, you know, I'm so happy for this guy. I'm so glad that, you know, he's making it now. And that's when I think they do start sending money to be shown, to be seen. They send $20 because they know that you won't read every single comment, but you'll read a donation of $10, and you're like, oh shit, like, bro, I remember when, for me, it'd be like, bro, I remember when, you know, I first started and you were here and you did this and you did that, man, I'm so glad you're still around, blah, 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 blah. It's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling.
Can I take a bathroom break?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks. That's all I was thinking about that last, minute.
I'm gonna pause it too.
I was going to say our next topic: slavery.